Welcome to Portal. I always thought it's kind of more difficult to commentate about games that you've played a lot before, right? Because if I'm playing a game for the first time, then I can make the commentary almost solely about the game if I'm struggling. Which is part of the reason that Melon Keeper Plus was an easy channel to record for. Um, I could record for hours on that channel because I was playing a lot of the games for the first times. And the ones that I wasn't playing for the first time, Five Nights at Fuckboy and stuff like that, those games were very easy to make content for just because they're RPGs. They basically invite conversation on their own, right? But yeah, Portal is a game that I've played a lot before. I have some 30 hours in it or something, and yeah, I still can't do the accelerated backup. But I've played this game a good chunk. I've beaten it quite a few times as well, and just off the fact that I really like the game. It's like the best uh, puzzle game campaign, I think, just about ever. And what's the competition, right? Portal 2? I don't know. I haven't really played Professor Layton or any of that. I know those are the puzzle games, but yeah, I'm not really into that. I have played Tetris, but there are no Tetris games with good single player campaigns. It's mostly just Marathon, or if you're playing Puyo Puyo Tetris, that game has a campaign. It's not good. It's not like a bad campaign. It is kind of just doing various Tetris and Puyo Puyo challenges that are very easy because you can't assume that the person playing it is a good Tetris player, and you definitely can't assume that they're a good Puyo player. So on average, the Tetris challenges are a bit harder than the Puyo ones, but they're all pretty easy in general. I don't really like the campaign of Puyo Puyo Tetris, but I did play through all of it. I think that game had unlockable characters or something, and that's what motivated me to do it. For someone who doesn't really like Puyo Puyo, I do really enjoy some of the characters, like Sig and what are the other ones called? I like J and L from Puyo Puyo Tetris, but I know that's kind of like a. I guess it's more of a Puyo game than a Tetris game, just on the basis that it has those characters and stuff. I don't know. I think the characters in Puyo Puyo are pretty cool. There's the dragon one. I don't remember her name. But yeah, like I was saying, doing commentary for a game like Portal is not so easy because I've played it so much before, and also I feel like the gameplay itself doesn't invite much conversation. On a first playthrough, it really does because I could walk you through my thought process of trying to solve the puzzles, but I know the solutions already, so it's that kind of issue where I'm just gonna run through all of this, as fast as I possibly can. I've never speedrun Portal, but I used to basically speedrun it. Some of my earliest speedrunning memories are this game and Mario 64. I know, very original, two extremely popular speed games. I remember learning. I didn't really learn 16 star. It's more like I learned BLJ and then just oh, and Mips Clip. It's like I learned BLJ and Mips Clip and then made the rest up from there. I just picked my favorite stars to do and then did them, which is the best way to play Mario 64, by the way, because some of the fastest stars are not necessarily the most fun.
As part of a required test protocol, our previous statement
So yeah, one of my I have an N64, As a kid, I used to play various games on it, but Mario 64 being one of them. And yeah, I basically made up my own 16-star route, and I think it took like 40 minutes after practicing and not being very good at the game. And that is kind of what formed my opinions on Mario 64 that I hold today, which is that I like the basement and like ground floor a lot more than the upstairs. I'm not a huge fan of the upstairs levels. Some of them are not so bad, but yeah, I really like the basement and ground floor, except the water levels. I'm not keen on like Dire Docks and stuff, but yeah, they're all right. They're definitely not bad levels. I'm a huge fan of Mario 64. It's like my favorite 3D Mario, and it's not really close either. But I do like basically every 3D Mario. I'm a bit like Scrooge about Mario Sunshine. Like, I don't love the missions in Mario Sunshine. This is the thing. A lot of people have different opinions on Mario Sunshine. Like, oh, Mario Sunshine's good, Mario Sunshine's bad. I think Mario Sunshine's kind of mid. It's not like a bad game. I think the movement's actually really good. It's some of the best movement in a 3D Mario. It's like a fun extension of... Oh, yeah. Forgot about that. It's like a fun extension of the movement in Mario 64, except the big difference between them is... Right, okay. Except the big difference between them is that sorry, I'm trying to focus on the game right now. Ah, that was the most complicated puzzle we've had yet. The big difference between them is that I think Mario 64 is more like punishing, whereas like Mario Sunshine is a lot more lenient, not just because of FLUDD, but like all of the movement in general feels like more lenient, just because you have that spin jump, so you can do really slow falls and stuff like that. It kind of reminds me of the difference between Project M and Melee, because they're like very similar, like movement-wise, but one of them's sort of easier than the other, more accessible, and obviously that's not a bad thing. That it's more accessible. In fact, by all means, that is a good thing. But the problem with Super Mario Sunshine is it's not just the PM to Melee's melee, it's also like it's also like bad and crap. I really don't like the missions, and I think that like that's the part of Sunshine that's the most difficult, is that you actually have to play like 90% of the missions, because you at least need to get far enough to do the Shadow Mario levels in every world, and some of the missions are just not fun. Like the beach level that has like the sandbird and stuff. I don't think the sandbird is like the worst level ever, but I do think that there are some pretty bad levels in the sand one. The one with the like the mirrors and the enemies that like send you up. Yeah, I don't love the missions in Mario Sunshine, but I'm not a hater. Like, at the end of the day, I think Mario Sunshine's still like pretty fun. It's just not a perfect game. And I probably won't play it on the channel. I'll definitely play every other like Mario game, because you know, I did on my Twitch in like 2021. I did a Mario month. It was March, and I just played like Mario games every day. I played like all the 2D games, and then I played all like a selection of the 3D ones. So I think I played Mario Galaxy 1, 2, Mario 64, 3D World, stuff like that. Odyssey probably. Yeah, this is a level that... Okay, that is not what I wanted to do. There are some like janky solutions you can do in this level, because you can like stand where you're not meant to really stand. What does this do? It opens that. Sure.
Engagement Center
Sure,
promises
I
to
think I know what
always
I'm meant to do
provide
here.
useful advice. For instance, the floor
And yeah, I
heat
did
will
not
kill
play
you.
Super Mario
Try to
Sunshine
avoid
during
it.
that month because I just didn't really feel like it. So you probably will never see me play Mario Sunshine. But if I, for some reason, go back on that, I'm sorry. So I guess, yeah, we want to keep this bouncing until it's in the right place. I guess I can still walk through my thought process considering I don't remember the precise solution to every level. Just need my memory jogged a little here and there. Yippee. Now ideally I'd just make this jump, but I'm pretty sure it's not possible. Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking, like, I want to play, like, pretty much every Valve single-player game on Gold. The thing with that is that, yay, we've got both portals. The thing with that is that,
As part of an optional test protocol, we are pleased to present
oh, that
Analyzing
opens that.
Path.
Okay,
The
perfect.
device is now more valuable than the organs and combined
So now I
incomes
just need
of
to wait.
everyone
This is
there.
another thing that I don't love. Like, you know, Portal is a great game, but oh my god, I almost died. Portal is a great game, but all this waiting, there is quite a lot of it. A lot of it is skippable if you have the skills. I'm sure there's a way to skip this, or at least like be on the right cycle so you don't have to wait as long as I just did, but I do find the waiting a little bit irritating here and there. Waiting is just not as fun as moving, right? But yeah, the trouble with it is there's a lot of, you know, there's the whole thing on Alpha Gold where they played like Super Mario Brothers 3 and then they played like a bunch of versions of Super Mario Brothers 3 and that was a whole bit. And I know like some people felt a certain way about that. I feel like it's really on brand, so I definitely don't have an issue with it. But it does make me think, like, can I play like Half-Life, Half-Life Source, Black Mesa, and call them all different games? I don't actually own Black Mesa yet. But I was thinking, like, can I just make a week out of playing Half-Life? There's definitely a way to do that. And I mean, I could definitely include like Gary's mod in there and stuff, and that's technically different enough from Half-Life. I mean, I guess at this point most people would think, you know, Gary's mod is not really Half-Life at all, but it also is. Like, it definitely is. But yeah, I haven't played Black Mesa, so I definitely want to give that a try. Half-Life, I think, is really, really good. I don't know if this video is going to go up before or after the Ultra Kill video, but in the Ultra Kill video, I mentioned how Half-Life's my favorite, like, single-player shooter, and, yeah, that remains true right now. I really like Half-Life. Oh, this is one of the levels from the challenge chambers. You gotta beat it in, like, 3 portals, it's really difficult. I mean, I don't need to do that here, of course, because, you know, obviously, but yeah, under like normal circumstance, or under the like challenge circumstance. Oh look, we can do the infinite portal thing here. Yippee! There's only like a handful of areas in Portal 2 where you can do this, but I guess Portal 1 is just full of it, right? And that makes sense. This is kind of disorienting, but that's how you get this thing without going through the whole puzzle thing. But the question is, what does it actually do for me? Right. I need to get the other portals, the other cube as well. Right, that's perfect. And yeah, this is like the shorter solution technically, because the other one involves like moving the platform so that you can drop onto it from above. I'm kind of good at this game, not gonna lie. I still can't accelerated back hop without like a macro, because I've got the scroll wheel set to to jump. I just have that in like every Valve game basically. It's one of those things that like I learned it from like watching a speedrun video or something, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna do that, you know, I'll be so good at speedrunning. And obviously it doesn't really help you get any better at speedrunning, provided you don't actually know the tech, which I didn't as a kid. But it is something that's just stuck with me. It's like, I jump with the scroll wheel. I mean, I still use the space bar, mind, but yeah. Okay, this is just disorienting. Jeez, oh. Right, I guess we want to do something like this. I'm voicing this as if I'm like doing this for the first time, but I have played the game a lot before. So here's the huge skip that I don't know if I'll be able to get. But you do a prop climb. Hell yeah, still got it, still got it. Yeah, that's another thing. Prop climbs are a lot easier if you've got the scroll wheel jump. So it's not just like back hopping and bunny hopping and stuff. It's also for prop climbs. And there's a few decent uses for prop climbs in this game. I'm not sure I remember all of them exactly, but there are a few good uses for it. Let's see. I want to do this. Oh, the thank you for helping us help you help us all. I love that. That's such a quote. I swear I've said that like a million times. A lot of my vocabulary comes from like video games and stuff. A surprising portion of it comes from like college humor videos. And I don't know why necessarily, them specifically. But yeah, a lot of my vocabulary comes from video games and stuff, and thank you for helping us help you help us all is definitely something that I've dropped in conversation here and there. And it doesn't really make sense out of context, but I'm kind of an eccentric person, so no one would really question it, right? I do not remember what I'm supposed to do here. I feel like if it goes through this portal and then go, yeah, that goes at an angle, which is not ideal. Oh, that reflects straight though. So I need it to go in, bounce off, and then... Oh, that's tough. I need it to like go in... Can I put these beside each other so it like bounces off of the same wall? Not really. There's a chance I just get lucky and it hits anyway. That's nice to think about. Yeah, okay, we should probably try and do this properly. So I think what I want is for it to go like that. Yeah! Yeah! I knew it had something to do with removing the portal, but I, for the life of me, could not remember what it was precisely. Oh, I did the wrong thing. So that's a trick where you can like peek through portals and you can kind of send portals to where there's no standing ground as long as you send the opposite portal from the one that you're poking out of. It's kind of a difficult tech to like not die when you're doing it, but the value of it is really high, because it allows you to do stuff. So I want to do that and then hold right. Okay. Yeah, it allows you to basically skip these waiting segments. And this is the thing, like, you might wonder, why on earth would you do this thing where you die like a dozen times trying to get it right just to skip a waiting section that takes like half the time, compared to failing it like 12 times or whatever? And the answer is like, it's more fun to attempt this than it is to wait. So it doesn't matter how long it takes, because the time spent in this case is spent doing something fun. And so I will always take the more complicated option that requires me to do something really difficult. So what does that do? I don't know what that does. What does this do? That opens this. So I want that to go there? Oh, come on. Oh, please. Will that thing never break? What's going on? Thing's just going. Right, and then I need to get the other one.
Did you
Perfect.
know you can donate one or all of your vital organs to the Aperture Science Self-Esteem Fund for Girls? It's true.
I think this is a good place to call it. I mean, we've done a decent chunk of the chambers. What is that? Chamber like 12 or something? There's only like 16 or something actually in the game. And then there's like the escape sequence where you fight GLaDOS. I don't really want to play through all the way to the end, so yeah. Thanks for watching.